Hey guys, I still feel like hell, but my voice sounds a little bit better. Um, with this video, what's number 4? Uh, Infidelity in a group setting. Um, it's going to happen. You know, it happens at workplaces. It happens at bars. You know, colleges, schools. Somebody's going to cheat on somebody at some point. You know, it's going to happen. But you're in a group setting, and say, that you're there with a couple other couples, or, a couple single guys, single girls, and you're there, and you're going to get, you know, one day you might look over at one of the group women and say, well, hell, she's hot. Then she might look at you and say, hey, you're hot. And, you might be out gathering firewood together, and one thing leads to another, and you're making whoopee while your wife or your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend back at camp. It's going to happen. That's going to cause problems in a group. No matter what size group it is, people are going to look at one another and have the hots for each other. And like I said, that happens at the workplace, that happens at schools, that happens at colleges, that happens, going out just for hanging out with friends, drinks or whatever. So you're going to have to consider that as well. How are you going to handle it if it happens to you? Are you going to grab your gun and just start shooting? Because there's an old saying, it takes two to tango. And, or do you just pack up, or do you throw them out? There's a lot of questions there. How are you going to deal with it? Then again, it might not be up to you. It could be up to the group leader or the group in charge. It could be a vote, But infidelity is going to play a major role, and it could cause a lot of trouble in groups. Now, on the other hand, how about these control freaks? These pay me groups. Let it be man or woman. Hey, if you want to stay here, I have to lay with your wife or your daughter or your husband or your son. How are you going to act? What are you going to do? Especially if you don't have any weapons. They take your weapons. You're not allowed to carry weapons. And that's went on. Look at that Jim Jones. Look at David Koresh down in Waco. People followed him. People bought into it, and they let him lay with their wives and their daughters. And Jim Jones, he laid with anything and everything. He didn't care. He was a freak. But what are you going to do? How are you going to act? Hold on just a minute. Yes, you can watch the SEC championship. Sorry, they're watching championship games today. But have you guys even thought about that in your group? Infidelity. Because you guys can't say it won't happen. Because, it will happen. It can happen. But what are you going to do if there is a group, type of person like that in a group? Control freak, or because a lot of people buys into this. They're scared, and they get into these groups, and the people who forms these groups one reason they're forming a group is to control and is to have their way with, let it be women, let it be men, let it be both. You know, nowadays you can't tell. But how how are you going to act if you see it happening, or how are you going to act if it's happening to you? You know, like I said, if you're in a normal group, are you going to get your gun out and start shooting? Are you going to vote to throw them out? Are you going to just say the hell with you and you do your thing, I do my thing? Or if you're one of these idiots that gets into a pay me group and controlled, and they come and say, hey, I'm laying with your wife, I'm laying with your husband or your son or your daughter, and you have no weapons to stop them, what are you going to do? Have you have I'm just wondering if people have thought about this. I mean, I haven't seen any videos on this, and like I said, I'm just wondering. Yeah, me personally, I don't know what I would do. You know, I would probably throw both of them out and cut my losses. But like I said, I don't know. What would you guys do? It's easy to say I'll pull that trigger, but then you got to deal with the consequences. Because if you got kids, your kids are going to know what you've done, and they can grow to hate you. Is it worth it? And so there's a lot to think about. Just tell me what you guys think. I'm sorry, my mind's really not here today. I've been battling this crap, and I hope this video makes sense. I want to do it a little bit longer, but I'm just not up to par, but I've got, I got the basics of infidelity, cheating spouses, cheating boyfriends, cheating girlfriends. What are you going to do if it happens? And it will happen. Nobody can sit there and say, oh, it would never happen in our group. You guys ain't a bunch of saints and nuns. If you're sitting there getting firewood and Sally over there bends over in a pair of short shorts and you see it, you're going to get attracted to it. And if she's willing participant, you're going to tap it. Just like if you're there and Sam, sits down and his dong's sitting there, and Mary over here is checking it out, it's going to, it's going to happen. That's just nature. Don't matter if you're married a month or if you've been married 20 years. It could eventually happen, especially in a SHTF situation. Hopefully, if it does, if a SHT, shit hit the fan situation happens, me and my wife has a strong enough relationship so it won't happen to us. I can hope. I can't guarantee. It would suck. But, like I said, it's something to think about. And if you haven't talked to your other half about it, or talk to have a group meeting and talk about it, that's something you should do. Because it's human nature. It's going to happen. Especially in tight groups like that where you're around everybody all the time. It could be a numerous reasons it happens. I don't know. I'm not no sex psychologist or whatever the hell you want to call it, but it's something for you guys to think about. And like I said, now I'm just rambling, but I'm gonna get off of here. I do want to thank. I received a couple of Christmas cards today in my PO box, and I appreciate it. I thank you. The boys already, we're going to start putting them up around the doorway and everything. That's their job during Christmas. They put the Christmas cards up. But thank you guys. I want to wish everybody, a Merry Christmas, because it's the month to wish Merry Christmas. I don't say Happy Holidays. I say Merry Christmas. So everybody be safe, and I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully I'm feeling a lot better. Bye for now, guys.